Check 1, 2. Happy Friday, right back at you. Just jamming a little bit while I wait for people to arrive.
Yo, we got a new subscriber.
Hey, Psychedeloscope. What's going on? Glad to see you back in the stream.
Been 3 months.
Apparently. Yeah, just give me a couple minutes. I'm gonna just prepare a few things to make sure everything is ready to go for the feedback. Whoops. Let's see. I'm just trying to find this link for the raffling. Uno momento. What the?
Yo, we got a new subscriber.
Yo.
Haywyre in Sync Psychedeloscope.
Thanks for the sub. Oh, here's a little noodle for you guys. This one's for Psychedeloscope. Okay. And here's one for you, Mike. It's always fun to just play whatever comes to mind, huh? All right, let's see. So, this is what I look like today. Absolutely glorious, I know. Not much has changed here, really. Same old, same old. Just another day in the studio. I'm gonna just like jam for like a couple more minutes, and then I'm gonna get those raffles going. So for now, let me get a keyword going so that you guys can submit if you want. So today's Friday, so we're doing a little bit of feedback today. And we are going to make the keyword for the raffle just the classic. Don't need to fix what isn't broken. So if you want to share some music that you like or that you're working on, and you want some feedback on it, or you just want to share it and have people listen to it, you can type. Oh wait, I haven't connected yet. There we go. Now we're good. So you can type !Martin sucks in the chat, and that will enter your name in the raffle. Oh wait, why is my other webcam not working? I just realized that the side angle isn't there. I feel like things are just slowly disintegrating in my studio. Like my APC broke. This webcam isn't working. I spent the good chunk of my morning. Oh. Yo, Electro Spaghetti, what's up? Thank you for the sub. Here's a little riff for you. All right. We got some submissions to work with here. Yeah, today's been a weird day so far. I have been working on a little demo track for a sample pack that I finally wrapped up. That's going to be released in the near future. But yeah, I really needed to go pick up some mail, and I had misplaced my keys, and so I couldn't leave my apartment until I found my keys. And it took me a solid hour and a half to find them. So that's been a good chunk of my day. All right. So we got some names in here. Let us begin. It is a little bit unfortunate that I don't have the side angle, but all good. So you guys kind of know the rules. I mean, yeah, it's the same as always. The raffle just randomly chooses someone. Subscribers do have some additional luck though. There's not too many perks of subbing, but I think it's pretty fair to at least give subscribers a little bit extra luck. Because there's so few perks anyways as is. Might as well. But yeah, so we're gonna roll this up and see what we get. Renem, what is up? Ooh.
Yo, we got a new subscriber.
Double
Wise guy.
Noodle.
Double noodle. No rush. Well, actually, I guess. Okay, sweet. You got the link anyways. Cool. So first submission of the day for Feedback Fridays is this song by Renem and Future Bounce Demo. I'm going to angle the main cam downwards in case I end up jamming to any of this music. Cark Tank, thank you for the sub. Cool. It's a fun tune. Sorry for throwing random ideas all over it, but it is literally the just I don't know, just my instinct to jam over stuff, especially if my brain is coming up with ideas. I like the tune a lot. I think from what I could hear, the structure makes a lot of sense. The arrangement of the song is strong. You've got a strong motif in there as well. I know I'm just making up random stuff other than that, but that's kind of like the core motif. Obviously, the bum 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 bum. And then there's like all the different variations as the motif continues. But I like that a lot. I think it's cool. I thought the mix was good. Yeah, I could hear this on what's Martin Garrix's label? God damn it! I did a remix for him. Stamps. That's what it's called. I was gonna say if I can't remember the name of it right now, that'd be kind of embarrassing since I did have a remix that got released on there. But I could hear this in that realm. I saw somebody in the comments comparing it to Martin Garrix a little bit, which I can see. Definitely sounds like it's in a similar vein. Maybe not necessarily influenced specifically by what he does, but I think similar at the very least. But yeah, it's a cool tune, man. I don't really have much to say. It sounds very finished. Some small. I think you could consider doing some small embellishments. Like you could do some. I think there were some moments in the build and stuff where you had some interesting sound design popping up briefly. I'm not too crazy about that snare, but it is a build, so I don't think it really matters that much. Might be more of a creative choice anyways, but like that little fill there, it sounds like maybe some kind of like a serum patch of some kind. Little things like that could be cool, but obviously that changes the vibe a lot. Like right now, the focus of the song definitely feels more. It's more about I don't know, the melody and the like what's happening rhythmically and the energy that those two share like when they're combined. And I think like obviously let's say like if you think about like one name that comes to mind that's might seem a little bit unrelated to what you're doing here, but let's say like Virtual Ride, for example. I think somebody like him, if he were to take an idea like this and work on it, he would probably opt to have a bunch more edits and really crazy little moments like the one that you have right there, with kind of like that kind of bass sound design popping in. then it changes from I guess I don't really know what this genre is exactly, future bounce or like I don't know if that's what it's called. Like let's I've just never heard of it before, but if this is called future bounce, then if you were to introduce a lot more edits and that kind of stuff, that would change the vibe pretty dramatically, right? So like if you're doing I guess what I'm trying to say is that embellishments could be cool, and that's what I would be experimenting with if I were you, but it would also change the vibe of the song, and it might detract from like the melody and what's going on there. But yeah, just a thought. It could be fun to experiment with. I think it's a good tune. I don't really have many recommendations, honestly. Like if you want to get nitpicky, of course, there's some mixed stuff. Like I think you could probably there's some definitely some mids in that kick that I think could be scooped out a little bit, and I think it'd be nice to have like a bit of a more present clap. It feels like it's maybe just a little bit far, just a tad too far back in the mix. Like something that's a bit wider too could be nice. I personally like claps that are like, yeah, wide and have nice high end, and especially for stuff like this, having like claps that have some really nice like little transients, so that they can kind of lead into the downbeat of the kick drum. Kind of like there's actually one sample in particular that comes to mind. Just to give you an example of what I'm talking about is, again, might be a personal choice, but like claps like this, where you have like all those individual little transients leading into that main hit. But anyways, just some food for thought. I don't think it really needs much more. Maybe just a little bit of fine tuning, mix wise, and you're set to wrap it, I think. But yeah, thanks for sharing that, man. I'm gonna roll on to the next one. Vishnu, what is up? Can people still submit? Absolutely. All you have to do is type in exclamation mark Martin sucks, and then you're good to go. Okay, so this is a submission from Vishnu 909. That's a nice synth there. Cool. So, I think this is a cool tune. It's very atmospheric, very mellow. I like how soft a lot of the percussion is. It definitely kind of fits the vibe. Yeah, I see you have lo-fi as a tag in here. I think that's a pretty good way of putting it. I think personally I would like to hear maybe just the smallest little like hook melody phrase type thing, just something really tiny. It doesn't have to really be too attention grabbing, but I think like so far it feels almost for my personal taste at least, it feels almost too like monotonous. It doesn't it's obviously got like the ebb and flow, like the breaks where there's no drums and there's kind of like the synths building up with these different arps and stuff, which is great. But I think if you just have even just the subtlest little melody on top. Oh, I see you have something here actually that's kind of like that. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, something like that I think could be good. But yeah, I think it's a pretty long tune, which is also totally fine. So it kind of depends on what you're going for. I think it's something that will certainly be appreciated as a track to I mean, you've actually kind of named it Road Trip. I was gonna say it sounds like a good tune to have like playing in your car while you're going on a cruise, or maybe while you're kind of like cleaning or doing some like homework. Like good music that doesn't, it might actually help you think or stay focused. It's not very I don't mean this in an offensive way. It's not like super attention grabbing, which I think can be a really good thing, especially if it's intentional and that's kind of what you're going for. But yeah, thank you for sharing that, man. I don't have much else to say, really. It really depends on your intention with the track. You could definitely introduce that little melody a bit earlier if you wanted to. Just depends on what you're going for. And yeah, good luck with your future stuff. Let's roll to the next one. Gold Sulfton. Not sure what that's supposed to mean, but you have won the raffle. Sweet. Next submission is by Gold Sulfton. Work in progress, version 10. cool sound design in here. I love it. Definitely something that I think is more appreciated with headphones than with laptop speakers or anything like that. Cool. So, actually, the only bit of feedback I have for this is to consider getting a little more expanding on what you're doing harmonically, because I think the chords are really cool and it helps drive the track initially. And I think once you've kind of gotten halfway through, you can start taking some more liberties. So what I mean by that is, I'm not sure exactly what that second chord is. Hold on. I think it's actually just another minor, isn't it? It's E minor, E flat minor, and then D major, or sorry, E minor E minor 9, E flat minor 9, and then D major 9, I think. So what I think you could do is, once it gets to the later parts of the track, is you could do something like you know, like expand on it a little bit. Even just that one chord, I think, adds an additional like flavor to the song. I think that obviously the chord progression you have already is great, but it just could be a nice way to add some variation into the song. Oh, okay, well, maybe not. You don't have to modulate into different keys or anything like that, but maybe consider throwing in like an altered or a diminished chord or something in there as well. So like this I guess it's kind of like a G diminished with an A in the bass. Depends on how you want to look at it. You could also look at it as like an A dominant with a flat 9. But anyway, something like that could be cool too. I don't know. I'm just kind of playing around with it a little bit, but you don't have to get too crazy with it. Even just like 1 or 2 additional chords could be really cool. And one thing I'll say too is that towards the end, where is that? I really like that vocal chop there, and it kind of felt like it was building into something new in the song. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like for some reason I felt a little misled for that to then, I don't know, wind down again there, but I can't really make up my mind if it's bothering me or not. But yeah, just figured I'd let you know that maybe listen to it again, that section again, and see if you're still feeling like that's the right vibe to take with it. Anyways, thank you for sharing that, man. That's really cool. This honestly, like, I don't know. I'm always so impressed with the variety of and the quality of content that people share on these feedback streams. It's so cool. But yeah, thanks for sharing that, man. And let's roll on to the next one. Bash. What the heck? Man, do you guys remember like 2 weeks ago that Feedback Friday where I think his name was Luke or something? And he was donating to donating me money to try to get me to play his song. And I told him I select submissions randomly. And then for the very last song, the raffle actually did end up picking him. That was wild. I think there was a good chunk of like people that had submitted their names too. Like, the percentage chance of him being chosen was pretty low. Okay, sorry. So this is a Posy Jam departure. The almighty Bashful. Nice percussion choice. It's cool. Nice. It's a cool tune. I really like your percussion choice. I think one thing that comes to mind is that I would personally, I'd prefer if there was like a particular moment where the percussion comes in, it's kind of like signaled in a more obvious way versus kind of having it like creeping in. I guess it feels like it's that can be a stylistic choice, obviously, but I think personally I would have preferred if like maybe there's like a small little fill that then kind of foreshadows, okay, like things are about to pick up, and that's when the drums kind of pop in. Because the first drum sound you hear is just kind of like that kick drum, that right there. And that's kind of where it feels like it's the drums are actually starting to pick up. It's right here, like 55. So maybe if you, I would have preferred if like the stuff before that was maybe like more low passed, and then there was like a little fill leading into this to kind of, I guess, make it more obvious that like, okay, you know, things are changing here, but not really the end of the world at all. I really like these stuttered pads here too. The mix sounds solid. Cool. Thanks for sharing, my dude. Oh, that's what I was struggling with, actually. Listen to how the pads are straight the first time and swung the second time. I need someone to appreciate that. Oh, it's a direct rim. Interesting. Anyways, appreciate it, my dude. Let's keep scrolling. Let's roll on to the next one. Shabam. Mighty Loopy, what is up? Okay. We got a submission here. Let's check it out. I'm Synthwave 9 by No Name Yet. Whoops. Sorry, I ruined your ending there. Very cool. So I think one thing I will say is that I almost wish the same ARP pattern continued once the drums pop in here.
New subscriber.
Daxi, thank you for the sub. Because you kind of, I feel like that it's cool to, it's kind of hard to catch on to ARP as melodies sometimes. Because like, so melodically there's not much else to latch onto in the beginning besides that ARP, right? It's really something like that. It's something like that. I know it's not exactly right, but it'd be cool if that same ARP continued over, because to me it almost felt like it was like that was the motif, was not just the rhythm, but like those notes too. So, but you know, I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. Another thing I'll say is, let's see. So the kick and snare in this are definitely like cutting through the mix pretty hard, and I feel like if you're gonna have them that punchy, you should consider making at least some of the other elements as punchy or similarly punchy too. So for example, that bass pluck you have underneath going. Like I would consider finding a way to make that a bit sharper, just because it feels like the rest of the sounds are really kind of just like floating and soft, and then the drums in comparison are like just cutting through the mix so intensely. So it's maybe not just the transients, but also maybe like the but also maybe the volume and the space that those sounds are occupying, like in the like frequency spectrum. So I think like maybe having some of them fill out some of that empty space a bit more could be nice. Or you could also consider bringing the drums back just a little bit, you know. So one way or another, that's something that came to mind, is that those drums are definitely like punching a bit too hard for what all the other elements are doing, in my opinion. It'd also be nice if the second time around there was more, maybe like cymbal work going on, maybe a crash and some like offbeat open hi-hats. I do hear some. I really love that fill there too, because I feel like that definitely heightens the energy for the second time this drum pattern pops in, and I think like definitely some high-end like cymbal information here could be cool. Like I don't know, something like that. But yeah. Anyways, thanks for sharing that. It's a cool tune. All right. Let's move on. Thanks for that submission, Mighty Loop. Let's do the next one. Seb Michael, what is poppin'? So there's gonna be about 2 more tracks left, and then I have to get back to working on. I have to work on my demo track for my sample pack. All right. This is our next submission. Drummer's Descent by Seb Michael. I definitely don't want to be playing over this right now. I have no idea where this is going, but I'm already interested. Thanks for the sub. This feels like maybe it's this image that's making me think about this too, but I feel like this is like a showdown moment in an anime. Like, these two dudes are currently trash-talking each other, talking about how they're gonna obliterate the other person. Pretty interesting tune. It's very this feels like very influenced by Koan sound, actually. I feel like the arrangement doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I don't know how much that really matters. Really cool ideas in here, though. That was cool. Anyways, it's a cool tune. I think it's very atmospheric. Like, it nails up kind of, it feels like a storm is coming the entire time I'm listening to the song. It's like, gosh, God, what is gonna happen? Like, you know, shit's going down. It's like very kind of yeah, definitely like a ominous is one way of putting it as well. But yeah, some really cool sounds. I think that the arrangement is a bit confusing, which isn't a big deal. Yeah, I guess you definitely nailed the vibe on the head, that's for sure. So that's something that is very consistent throughout the track. But I think just to make some of the moments shine a bit more, it'd be cool if there was a bit of a clear arrangement in the song. But yeah, anyways, thanks for sharing, man. I'm glad I didn't play over any of that, because I think piano playing is not relevant on something like that. Okay, let's do one more here, and then I'm gonna call it quits for today. Kiki, what is up? You got something to share with us? The arrangement isn't bad at all. It doesn't have a traditional song structure as far as like dance music or similar. Totally, I agree. I'm not saying, again, I think with feedback that I'm giving, at the end of the day, you know, music is, extremely subjective. So, you know, I'm always just going to advocate for what I think would make a song better, or what I would do. And that's the only thing I can do when it comes to giving feedback, is sharing my 2 cents. And obviously, at the end of the day, take it with a grain of salt, you know? Nobody has to take anything I'm saying very seriously. But yeah, okay, so this is a Cola bootleg remix of Oliver Heldens and Sean Frank's song Shades of Grey. Let's check it out.
If I had a god, I would say he was wrong. Got these scars, but I think they're pretty. So I say, hey, been high since yesterday. You know it kills the pain. It's hard to find the love through every shade of gray. So tired of the same, never seems to change. It's hard to find the love through every shade of gray. It's hard to find the love through every shade of gray.
Cool tune. I've got some thoughts, but I'm gonna wait for the rest of the song to play out.
If I had a god, I would say he was wrong. Got these scars, but I think they're pretty. So I say, hey, been high since yesterday. You know it kills the pain. It's hard to find the love. Every shade of gray. So tired of the same. Never seems to change. It's hard to find the love. Every shade of It's hard to find the love. Every shade of gray. It's hard to find the love. Every shade of gray.
Cool. So I think I just have 2 things that came to mind immediately, which is that your snare, rim shot, whatever you want to call it, it's a bit too heavy on the lower mids and has like next to no high end information, which actually is kind of cool. I think it gives it an interesting character that you don't really hear much, but maybe if you tone it back just a little bit, it'll kind of sit in the mix a bit nicer.
It's hard to find the love through every shade of gray.
So, and this is the second point I'll make, is that so the chord progression you have for the drop is and so logically, it would make a lot of sense for you to go back to the beginning of the chord progression that you had, which is the E flat major, but then you actually switch it up and you go to the G there. And to me personally, I find that it sounds a bit unnatural, because you've just kind of heard the first loop of the focal point of the song. You know, you've heard it once through. I'll play it again.
Every shade of gray. It's hard to find the love
think you should go back to the E flat here. I think you should go for sure to the E flat, because realistically, you know, you've kind of heard that entire loop once, and it's like it's a very big part of the song to hear that for the first time. Anyways, that's just my 2 cents. Is I think that you could totally have what you that kind of chord progression loop again, and then let's see. I also well, actually, before I go further, like I think this is a really cool remix, by the way. I guess I haven't really said that yet. I like the vibe a lot, and I like the kind of like angsty vibe of it. But that little fill right there, I think it'd be cool if that was more pronounced, because like I think that rhythm and in that moment is nice, but it's kind of like a little it sounds like some kind of bit of Foley like hanging out in the background. It'd be nice if you found a way to not necessarily make it louder. Well, actually, yeah, I think it should, the perceived loudness should be higher. And maybe it's just like a different sound altogether. Or sorry, I guess I'm still giving you critique as if this wasn't actually already released. So sorry about that. I realized that I just forgot that you had actually already posted this and kind of finished it. But just my 2 cents in terms of what could have made the release even better. And then the outro. The end doesn't actually have a full fade out, which I think would be kind of nice. And also the fill going into the drop. I would consider like trying to tune down the distortion on that just a little bit. I think it's cool because it kind of, yeah, it's just like harsh and aggressive, and it totally is the right vibe going into that downbeat. I think it's cool that it sounds overly distorted, but again, I think just toning it back just a little bit would be kind of nice. Yeah, super chunky sound. Anyways, really cool. Thank you for sharing that. Cool, guys. So that's going to be it for today. Sorry if there are people that submitted and didn't get to have their songs listened to. But yeah, I'll be back on Monday for more streams. Thank you for coming early today, by the way. Sorry about that. But yeah, Monday, Wednesday, Friday next week, same times as normal. So we're gonna hit the ground running on Monday with some production. But yeah, hope you guys are doing okay out there. Take care of yourselves. Stay healthy. Stay hydrated. Stay exercising. And stay creative. Try to do something today that you haven't done before. And I will try to do that as well. All right, guys. Peace out. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care. Bye.